everyone. I just wanted to share a haul that I got when I went to our local homeschool conference a week ago. And I watch these all the time and I really enjoy them. And I like to see what other people do for their homeschool. And I've gotten lots of really fun ideas. So I thought I might give it a try myself and maybe save my husband the time of listening to me drone on about homeschool books and curriculum, which I am want to do lately. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I got was this Frog and Toad storybook Treasury. And I was really happy when I found it. It has 4 of the Frog and Toad books. And maybe somebody can tell me, but I think that there are just 4 Frog and Toad books, but I'm not sure. The back of the book description kind of leads you to believe that. But I didn't really read these as a kid. I remember vaguely maybe reading one of them, but my friend who was with me was really excited about them and loved them when she was a kid and actually bought one of them for her students. She's a teacher at our Christian school. Funnily enough, my friend is actually not a homeschooler, and she currently doesn't even have children of her own. She actually just got married at the end of last year, but she is sweet enough to go to the homeschool conventions with me. So I don't have to go alone, though she does enjoy it, and we go to the sessions together. And we pick ones that'll work for her and for me as well. The best thing was that this was, it's a hardbound book, and it has the 4 books, and it was only $6 or $7. And I'll show you the back. Shows all the books there. And if you look down here at the price, it's regular price $11.99. This was actually from the booth for our local university bookstore. And I thought, well, you just can't beat that, like $6 or $7 for 4 books. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. This was actually free to me, and it was from, I've had to look at this like 20 times, the Thinking Tree Publishing Company. And they sell their books on Amazon, and they have all these fun like workbooks and journals, and it's really kind of very creative, like drawing and coloring kind of based curriculum and things like that. I know they had some focus specifically for children with dyslexia and for kids with ADD, ADHD. Looked like a lot of fun stuff. And they were doing a couple of giveaways. I'll show you the inside of the book a little bit. Of baskets. And if you just even stop by their booth, they were giving away tickets for it. And so my friend and I went back at the end of the day for the drawing, and they drew the tickets a little bit early, and so the last session wasn't out yet. So even though the people weren't there with that number, they didn't want to draw again until people had time to make their way back to the booth. And so anybody who showed up for the drawing at that set time got to either pick this book, the Teach Your Child 100 Words to Read, Write, Spell, and Draw, or a book on how to homeschool, which was about the same size little book. And if you saw one inside, it's all about animals. And there's 100 words that they basically just keep going over and over and on different combinations. So like you'll read a poem a couple of times on one day. The next day you're going to read it and point to all the words and have the children color them in and do the activity. And then there's like, they read the poem again and they fill in the words. And it's supposed to lead to the mastery of those words. So, it was free. I love free, and we'll definitely use this when my oldest daughter, maybe not this coming school year, but the year after. I ordered my kindergartner's penmanship book, and I'm probably going to do a video on the curriculum I'm using for next year because I enjoy those videos too, and I thought I'd give that a try. So I'll talk about this more then, but I did order it while I was there. It actually just came in today, which was nice. And it is Horizons penmanship, so it's Alpha and Omega Press. I just really like how they do I'll go to the beginning. They start with like circles and crescent shapes and lines before you even start forming letters, all the things that are required to form the different letters of the alphabet. And you actually look at the alphabet chart to see which letters require those things while you're waiting to start actually writing letters. I do have this book for my older daughter that we tried at the end of last year and we liked it. So I will be using that for my kindergartner. My favorite thing I think I got were some books I got from, it was YWAM, and it's either publishing or it's like YWAM Publishing, or I'm not entirely sure what but it is YWAM, YWAM, and they do biographies, like chapter books, Christian heroes and American heroes, and they had these unit studies there, and they had these in a little box and a sign out there that said they were going all digital with these materials, and so these were only $1.50 a piece. So even though my girls are a little too young for this right now, and I didn't buy the chapter books that went along with them because we wouldn't be using these yet, I went ahead and purchased these because I figured for $3 you just really can't beat that. And I got Amy Carmichael and Lottie Moon. Just kind of an emphasis, thought that'd be nice, especially when they're older, to see some young women who gave their life to the Lord. I have all girls, I don't have any boys, so I thought that was just really relevant to them. Also from the YWAM Publishing, I got I had planned to go there specifically to get 1 or 2 chapter books for read alouds in our morning time I'm hoping to do this year. And I ended up seeing these and getting these instead. And they're the heroes for young readers. And they're picture books. And the pictures are actually really quite nice. And I'll hold this up here while I'm talking about it so you can, if you want to read a little bit of that. It's in verse. And so it rhymes. So I think it'll be easy to read out loud to them, and also for them to kind of understand and possibly even memorize them. So I'm sure we'll go through it a few times. And so I got 5 of those. They were 5 for $25. And I got Jim Elliot, who probably my favorite missionary story I've ever read was Through Gates of Splendor. And look up to Jim and Betty Elliot greatly as examples of how to serve the Lord without reservation. Lottie Moon, Amy Carmichael, I'll move that there, Adoniram Judson, and William Carey. I also got this laminated, it's really thick and nice, almost like a thick placemat map. And on one side is a map of the world, and on the other side is the United States. I'm not doing formal geography with my girls yet, but I do want them to start to get comfortable with maps. And I got a couple really cool big wall maps from Costco, but we live in an apartment and I'm not even sure where to put those. And this one they can actually get down and play with and, ride on, and my 3-year-old can step on it, and it's not going to be a big deal. With the wall map, that's eventually going to cause a problem. And then I got some just fun things for my girls. This was at a stand that was really cool. They were selling all kinds of different little items of these for manipulates or for tinkering and making things, like washers and marbles and syringes and cut up pool noodles and foam blocks and wooden blocks, colored wooden blocks and empty jars, things like that. So super fun. And this was it's a whisper tube, is what they called it. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You whisper in one side, you can hear out the other. And my girls actually got bunk beds for Christmas, and I'm going to see if my husband can attach this to their bed so they can have some fun conversations when they're playing pirates and they need to talk on different decks of their ship, or if they're spies and they need to make, set up clandestine meetings and things like that. Then the last thing is I did also get one more workbook that's not here. I did order from Demi Learning my kindergartner's workbook from Matthew C. Primer. It's just not in yet. And then from the same place I got the Whisper tube, I got these 2 timers. They're 3-minute timers. I think they were like 2 for $1. Might even been 3 for $1, but I just got 2 for my older girls. My oldest daughter gets distracted really easy. I mean, she's almost 7, so she's still pretty young, but she's a very distractible kid. And timers seem to help her focus a little bit better, so we're not always dealing with her staring at a page or being on, taking 10 minutes to write one word, which has happened to us before. And then I got these 2 do-a-dot markers. My youngest daughter is going to be doing Erica, Confession of a Homeschooler's Letter of the Week program. And several of her activities require these do-a-dot. They're kind of like bingo marker, like daubers. And I do have some that I purchased from a Dollar Tree that are like actual bingo markers. But the ink comes out really fast, and I noticed that if I'm not really careful, it will stain my counter very quickly, and it's hard to get off. And I know my little girl, and she likes to really kind of get overly creative with art supplies still. She's doing much better, but the sign in front of you said that they were washable. The bottle does not. So I'm not going to assume anything. And she'll just still be using her smog, but I'm hoping the ink might not come out and leak as much as the other ones are. And they were like $2 something a piece. I have no idea if that's a good price for them or not, but it's only, it's $1 more than what I paid for the one from the Dollar Tree. So I figured, why not? Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this wasn't too painful. I'm using my phone, and so I noticed that it's shaking some, and hopefully that's not so much as going to make somebody motion sick, because I'm really sensitive to stuff like that, and that has happened to me before in videos, watching videos. So thanks for watching, and have a great night.